the first card you have you passed is the Nine of Pentacles. So yeah, this is interesting because this woman looks as if she's just relaxing, she's resting, she's in her garden, she doesn't have any worries, all that kind of thing. But I'm actually seeing something quite different here. I'm seeing determination, thriving to get to a certain point, to get to a point in your life, to get to a goal. And I think this is the goal. You know, she's not striving, she's not determined, but she probably has been determined to get herself to this place. So, and that's where you are. You want to get to this place. You want to have this freedom. And you're doing this all by yourself. This woman's very, very independent. And she has money around her, obviously. So I think you're really making an effort to get yourself into a position where you had the freedom to make some kind of lifestyle choice. And I'm seeing a few different things with this choice. I'm seeing a work choice, so it might be that you had a business or something, or you wanted to have a business or something. It's all about freedom. So living where you wanted to live, I'm seeing that as well, living in a place that you want to be and coinciding with the kind of work that you want to have. And I think that might be not working for someone else, but working by yourself. So you've got this freedom in your mind of a certain place you want to be and a certain way you want to have your work. And then you feel as if you'll be like this woman on this card. So that's what I'm seeing. Yeah, and I'm actually seeing a home. I'm seeing a home here. So this is somewhere I think you really want to be settled eventually. That's one of your goals, to be in this home that you're really looking toward. And yeah, you're not where you want to be right now. It's okay. It's like your job and your home and all of that. It's okay, but it's not where you ultimately want to be. And I think you've got a really, really strong picture in your mind, a very, very strong picture of this place that you want to be in. Yeah, it's like I'm seeing you searching for similar things, or this kind of thing you want online. You know, looking at pictures. You might be on Pinterest pinning things. You know, things that are like the lifestyle that you want. If you're doing that, keep on doing that, because that's a bit like a vision board. A lot of people use Pinterest like that, and even looking at them and thinking about them, that kind of reinforces your goals for you. So if you're doing all of that, keep on doing that. Now, I think also financially, you're saving a lot. You're making a lot of very sensible choices to get to where you want to go. And I actually think you could get there sooner than you are. But you don't want to do that. You know, you could be doing things like taking out loans or making other kinds of compromises. And you don't want to do that. You want to get to this goal in the right way. You want to get that, you know, it's like you're taking the long road. You're taking a road that's going to be better for you later on. If you do the hard work now, it'll be easier later on. That's the whole feeling I'm getting in this card. It'll be like the woman on this card later on. Yeah, and I think you've got a very, very unique sense of where you want to be. So your home that you're thinking about, I think, is your dream home, is quite unique. And I think the kind of work that you want to do is also very unique. So you're very, very different in that way. And you don't care what other people think of you. It's not like you're really rude and you say, I don't care what you think of me. It's not like that. It's more like you're just peaceful, you just do your own thing. And if people want to tell you what to do or whatever, you just don't really listen. I think also, I'm getting another thing here, is you might have turned off a lot of social media, not everything, but a lot of voices that are coming in that you don't like, that are kind of interfering, because I'm seeing this kind of channel in your mind and you don't want other channels coming and interfering with that. So you've turned a lot of that off so that you have that space in your head to be able to do this goal, or to get to this goal, I should say. And yeah, you feel really, really strong. This feels really strong, but also peaceful at the same time. Really nice. And there's a bit of a split here as well that I'm seeing. It actually feels like a religious difference, and I'm seeing a split between you and where you were brought up. So it might be that your family has a kind of religious idea, and now you have a very separate spiritual idea from where you were. Because if you look at this card, there's a house, it's just on the right-hand corner where that tree is on the right-hand side. There's a house there. So she has her back to her original home where she was. And I'm seeing religion here because there are two trees here which kind of symbolize the Garden of Eden, you know, the tree of life and the tree of knowledge. So you've walked, I'm not saying you've walked away from religion, but I think you've walked away from your family's original idea of what that is, your concept of that and their concept of that. So I think there's still a little bit of tension between you and your family when you have conversations with them. A little bit of awkwardness, polite awkwardness. You know, they're not bad people. You're just different people now. And so, you know, you have conversations about other things, but when it comes to that subject, I think you just politely don't say very much. So that's what I'm getting in that card. Okay, so the next card you have, your past, the Four of Swords. This whole thing feels very peaceful. Look at this man resting. Very peaceful. It just feels like I'm in my own bubble. I make my own choices. I'm peaceful. And yeah, so there's someone else I'm seeing here who comes in and out of your life a bit. And I think this is an ex. Now, I'm not feeling any tension around that either. It's really strange. I think there was once. There was a lot of tension around them. But now it's like, no, I'm making sure there's no tension. So this was something you were doing on purpose. You were saying, no, I'm not going to let any tension happen between us. Maybe you have children with them, so you don't want to have tension there. You're doing everything you can to be as peaceful as you can. And you've gotten over the worst with them. You're quite settled when you see them now. You know, and that's all down to you. This is the way that you've managed things, I think. Lots of peace here. Really, really nice. And yeah, they're a bit annoying sometimes, and that bothers you because you're really well organised. And I think they say, oh, I'll be there at that time, I'll do this at this time, I'll bring this to you at this time, or I'll talk to you about this, and it never happens. The dates never happen, ever. I think when you were with them, it was also very much like that. I think you might have actually said to them, oh, I'll be there at this time, and it was earlier than when you were going to be there, so they'd get there on time. I think you did have to trick them a few times to get them to be on time. Anyway, yeah, so they're a bit annoying. They're still annoying, but they don't bother you because you're in this little bubble. You're in this little bubble. You're not stressed by things. So really, really, really nice to see. Okay, so the last card you have your past, the Queen of Cups. Yeah, more peace. This energy is so low-key, I have to say. Really beautiful low-key reading. It feels so peaceful. Okay, so yeah, there's someone around you. I'm seeing work here. Actually, I'm seeing I have to say, I'm seeing a lot of work in this whole reading. So I think it's going to be very work later on. I can feel this. I think it might be something that this is starting. So it's starting here and it's going into work. So just prepare for that. Work reading. I don't mean that, but I'm getting this feeling that there's work. So there's work here. And there might be someone in your workplace, I think, who they're trying to be around you. They're trying to be in your presence. That's what I'm seeing. Now, I think you probably see them as a friend or just a colleague or something. You've spoken to them a few times, I think. There is a little bit of a spark there, and I think you know that. I think you can feel that. But, you know, unless they're going to talk to you, unless they come and say something to you, I don't think anything's going to happen between you. I think you're a bit wary of workplace relationships anyway, but they're not being clear about how they feel. It's not obvious to you that they're interested. There's a spark and you can feel that, but that's in the atmosphere. It's not them saying anything. And, you know, I think you've had a relationship in the past, maybe in your last relationship, maybe with this ex, maybe with someone else, where you put everything into this. You put all the work in, you made the first moves, you texted them first, you called them first, you organised everything, you did everything. And they didn't step up, they didn't meet you halfway. I'm surprised the Fool isn't here actually, because I'm seeing that word fool. So I think you ended up feeling a bit like you were a bit of a fool. You weren't, but that's how you felt, I think. They made you feel like, oh, I'm such a fool. I do everything for this person and they don't do anything. So now I think you're just really careful. You make sure anyone who's interested in you or you're interested in them, whatever it is, They have to be 100% clear to you that they're interested. And they have to be showing you that as well. Actions, not words. Someone gave you a lot of words. Oh, I love you. I'll never hurt you. This, that, the other thing. Of course, they did the opposite. So you don't want words, you want action. And at the moment, they're not coming forward. They're not giving you this action. They're not making their feelings known to you. You know, this queen, you know, she's the queen of emotion. She's the queen of feelings. So they've got feelings for you, but they're just not saying anything. And yeah, if you look at this queen, she's staring into this cup where the water is, where the emotions are, but there's a lid on the top of the cup. So she's keeping a lid on things. She's keeping a lid on how she feels. Very, very frustrating, because there are definitely feelings there, but nothing's happening. And you're not going to do anything unless they're really, really, really clear, because you've been burnt like this before. So you're like, yes, I know the spark's there. I know the feelings are there. But I want someone to come forward to me. I'm sick of being the person who always comes forward, who always does everything. And yeah, there's a barrier around you as well, I think. There's all this independence with the Nine of Pentacles. And I think really I'm getting this feeling that you really, really want to be alone right now, deep down. Not forever, but just right now. I think it'd have to be a really, really special person who came into your life before you'd even think about a relationship. You are going to have one eventually. Obviously, this is if you're single. But at this time, you're really just goal-focused, I think. That's where you are right now. Okay, so the first card you have here present is the Knight of Swords. Okay, this breaks the peace. End of the peaceful reading. Okay, not really, but yeah. Okay, so I'm seeing a few things here. Okay, so this is work again. Work here. Now, there's some frustration here around your work, because I think ultimately, again, I was seeing this in the Nine of Pentacles, you don't want to be doing what you're doing forever. So you've got this goal of like moving on from your workplace eventually to work on your own. And there's this idea of, I'm going to live somewhere else, I'm going to live in a completely different place, and I'm going to work for myself. I'm going to have this total freedom in the end of all of this. And I think you are going to have that. But I think you've got this idea of, okay, I'll stay where I am in this workplace. I'm not going to get any other jobs after this. I'm just going to stay here, put my head down, do my work. Then I'm going to finish there and I'm going to leap out on my own and do something else. The feeling I'm getting here is you might have to have another job, one more job after this one before you branch out into something else. I'm just getting that feeling here. Now, yeah, there's a bit of a warning here as well. Yeah, there's a shake-up coming around your work, and maybe that's why I'm getting this. It won't affect you directly. I'm not seeing that. There's a lot of trouble here. Someone's in trouble, or someone's going to be in trouble in your workplace. Someone's going to be asked to leave, I think. Or they're going to end up leaving by themselves. Something's going to come to light about this person in your workplace. That's what I'm seeing. Maybe this has already come to light as far as, you know, the people who are in charge know, but I don't think everyone else knows. If they do, it's probably not out in the open yet. There's definitely an accusation here. And yeah, I'm getting this really clearly now. I can see this now. There's an accusation against someone in your workplace, and they're going to refute the accusation. There's a lot of anger here, so they're very angry that they're being accused of this. Look at this knight, he's so angry. And they're going to fight this to the end as well, just like this knight. And yeah, this is someone you know. This is someone you see around your workplace all the time. And then one day they're not going to be there, because there's an investigation that's going to happen. That's what I'm seeing. There's an investigation. You've got the Justice card here as well. So I'll talk about that here now. So whoever this is, they're not going to leave. They're going to fight this. They're going to keep on fighting. They're not going down without a fight. I'm definitely seeing some kind of litigation here. And it's going to be a bit drawn out, I think, because they're not going to, you know, I think they might be offered things. I think they might be saying, no, close this down now, stop this fight now. And they're going to say, no, 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 I'm going to let this draw out. I'm going to keep on fighting, fighting, fighting. And I don't think you're going to be able to speak to this person for a long, long time. Maybe not ever. directly, because there's some kind of restriction on them talking to everyone else in the workplace. I think they're going to have to go home, be home, and not talk to anyone because of this litigation. But you're going to know who this is because they won't be there. And yeah, things are going to be shuffled around as well in your workplace, or people are, I should say. Positions are going to change. And things are going to feel really different. Yeah, they're going to feel quite uneasy because there's all this talk around this. People aren't going to be sure what's going on. Just be careful not to listen to too much of this talk, because a lot of these people are going to be talking, but they won't know anything. They won't know what the official story is because there isn't one. So anyway, yeah, just get ready. Just get ready for a lot of changes in your workplace. And it's due to this person who's done something wrong. And there's this investigation. Very, very clear. I can see that very clearly. Okay, so the last card you have for your presents, the Six of Pentacles. Okay, so yeah, this is about the same thing again. Whatever this is about, obviously there's money here at the centre of this with this card. And this card's about unfairness around money, or perceived unfairness. So it might be that they stole money. Might be that they took someone else's money that they weren't supposed to. Maybe the workplace, maybe the company or something like that. There are definitely money problems around this person because of these poor beggars on this card. So they've had a lot of money problems. Yeah, I'm seeing a great big hole here. It's like a bottomless pit. So, that makes me think of things like, gambling, maybe reckless spending, things like that. I am getting a feeling of gambling. I am getting that. Chasing their tail, not being able to pay bills because the money's gone. And yeah, there's this feeling of being on this kind of treadmill, not being able to keep up. So I think that's what they've been feeling like. They can't keep up. So they had to, in desperation, stole money or took money or did something like that. Yeah, they're in a lot of trouble. They're in a lot of trouble, or they're going to be. Yeah, again, this is someone you see. I don't think they're a close friend or anything, but it's someone you talk to and it's someone you see a lot in your workplace. That's what I'm seeing there. I know that's really, really specific, but I'm seeing that really clearly. Okay, so the first card you have for your future is the Two of Wands. Yeah, so this is you. You're looking forward. You're looking forward to moving to this new goal. You're so focused on this goal. This is where you want to go. And yeah, you want to be in a completely different location. I'm seeing that again in this card because he's got the world in his hands and he's looking out to where he wants to be, to this new location. So that's what you want to do. And you're going to get there. You're going to get there. You are. You're going to be successful in this. I've seen this in your last reading as well. Yeah, I keep on seeing this big shake-up around your workplace. I'm seeing it again here. So yeah, it's going to really change the whole atmosphere. There's an atmosphere of secrecy. There's an atmosphere of bewilderment. No one knows what's happening. And yeah, there's litigation. There's litigation, so no one can say anything. So they can't make a big announcement. They can't say, this is what's happening, everyone in the company, because they're not allowed to do that because of this litigation. That's what I'm seeing. So yeah, the atmosphere is going to be really strange, really horrible. I think there are going to be some people who decide to look for other work, actually. And I think you might think about doing the same thing. And that's exactly what I was seeing in the Knight of Swords. That you thought you were going to stay here right to the end, not get another job until you get this goal. But I think because of this atmosphere, you might think, no, I can't bear this. I have to get out of this. Everyone's leaving. Everyone's talking, everyone's worried. There's this thing hanging over this. There might even be publicity around this because it's a company and someone's stealing or something like that. So it might even be in the news or something. So yeah, gossip, morale's low. I'm seeing that as well. So yeah, keep your eye out for other jobs, other work, and just be prepared for that. And don't worry, I'm not seeing anything happening to you. Your job's safe. It's not that it's not safe. It's just that the atmosphere is going to be such a heavy, gossipy, low morale atmosphere that you're just going to want to move on to somewhere else. And I think a lot of people who you know at your work, who you are friends with, might want to move, and that also might make you want to say, well, what else is here? I've got no friends here, and it's really horrible. So I'm going to look at something else, look for something else. Okay, so the next card you have, your future, is the Queen of Pentacles. And so yeah, 2 coin cards. So, and you know, all this work drama, more work, more coins, more money. So this is about the same thing again. So I don't mean for this to be a work reading. I was seeing this was probably going to happen. So here it is. So yeah, so when all this happens, even if you know your job's safe, even if you know that, even if all the logic in the world tells you your job's safe, you're still going to be feeling really uneasy. And everyone in this workplace is. Everyone is. And, you know, I can see why that is, because no one's going to be giving the official announcement of what's happening. It's all gossip, it's all talk, nothing official. So no one knows what's really going on. People are worried they're going to lose their jobs, all that kind of thing again. And yeah, I think what's eventually going to happen is you're going to decide to get out of this and work somewhere else. And, you know, I won't lie, I'm seeing a lot of stress, a lot of worry about making this decision, because again, you thought you were going to be there right to the end until you got to this goal. That's what I'm seeing. You didn't want to be working somewhere else. That wasn't the plan. You're just going to stay there, keep your head down till the end, till the decision to move was there. But I think you are going to be working somewhere else. That's where you're going to end up before you make this move out of this whole workplace. And I think it's going to be better for you, actually, because it really looks like you've just been holding on to this job until you reach this goal, but you haven't been concentrating on your day-to-day happiness. It's been all focused on this goal. It's like, it doesn't matter how I feel now. I want to get to the goal. I want to get to the goal. And that's fine. I can be like that myself. But I think when you get to this new job, you're going to realize, wow, I was really unhappy in that old place even before all this drama happened. And now that I'm in this newer place, my day-to-day life's a lot easier. And there are all coins around this as well, you know, with the Queen of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles. So I think you're going to get more money as well. So you're going to be able to save quicker to get to this goal. So really, there's all positivity for you moving into this new job. And, you know, sometimes we don't realise how bad things are until we move on to something else. But yeah, a lot of work drama in this reading.